We're going to get started, and I'd like to start off by first indicating that it's quite ironic that I'm here today, because I'm probably the least tech-savvy person I know. So you'll have to bear with me. I'm the person who the IT guy at work constantly has to hover around to try and sort out my laptop, and anything electronic dies around me. So. But I will try and be a welcoming, gracious host to make you feel welcome today. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Whether you're from an agribusiness, an agri organization, some of our government departments, research institutions, we also like to extend a special welcome to representatives from the Embassy of Brazil here in South Africa, as well as the Embassy of the Czech Republic, as well as the Embassy of the Republic of Kazakhstan here in South Africa. Thank you for attending today's event. To all of you, a warm and hearty welcome. On behalf of the Agri Africa team, it's great to see you and to look forward to what is hopefully going to be an incredible event early next year. The inaugural AAT conference held in February of 2020 was the biggest agricultural event of that year, because it was the only event that year. Very shortly after, COVID-19 hit, stopped the world in its tracks. And we're thrilled to be able to continue that success, the success of the first AAT event in 2023. And it's great to have you all at today's launch. So, what do we know? Personally, I've worked in news for 10 years. So I can say with some authority that agriculture is usually in the news for a couple of things: drought, floods, locusts, land issues, labor issues, and of course food security is arguably the biggest buzzword, not only locally here in South Africa, but across the world as well, amid various uncertainties. We're reminded time and time again that, as per estimates compiled by the Food and Agriculture Organization, that by 2050 we'll need to produce 60% more food to feed a world population of 9.3 billion. But agriculture is about more than just food. You are all experts, so you probably know this, but I didn't, and I was quite shocked and surprised, pleasantly surprised, to learn that when Eskom load shedding strikes again, like it did this morning, stage 4 at 6 a.m., and you reach for the less than romantic candles, cornstarch is a key ingredient in the manufacturing of matches. Cornstarch is also used to make toothpaste, spark plugs, and lipstick. Soybean oils are used in the manufacture of AstroTurf. Because it's better for the environment, more economically viable, and it lasts longer than traditional fluids, soy-based hydraulic fluids have become a mainstay in hydraulic machinery. All things that I didn't know. Perhaps you did. So agriculture plays a role in even the tiny details of our everyday lives that we take for granted. And we know that technology is playing an increasingly important role, both in primary production as well as in the value chain, in order to increase yields, profitability, and sustainability, more words that we hear quite often. As agricultural technology advances, more and more mainstream media, in my experience in newsrooms, are engaging with hot topics. Lo and behold, agriculture may even be becoming sexy. And that's from my personal experience over the past 10 years, where initially in the start of my journey in newsrooms, we very rarely covered any agricultural events. It was literally the outliers, farm murders, some drastic development, and most often land issues, which in South Africa are a very sensitive issue. It is a sensitive issue for very many reasons. However, we're hoping that as technology advances, agriculture will be in the news more and more often for the right reasons. But we have to look at what that technology looks like. Past advances, we know, were mostly mechanical, in the form of more powerful and efficient machinery, and genetic in the form of more productive seeds and fertilizer. Now, much more sophisticated digital tools are needed to deliver the next productivity leap, Going forward, the buzzwords are going to be changing. And we've put some of them on the screen here behind me for you to look at. Those are the things that ultimately we're going to be looking at in AAT 2023. Many of our conversations about agriculture in the past here in South Africa have been focused on everything up to the farm gate. But what happens beyond that? What happens between the farm gate and the fork? We say farm to fork, but very rarely in our discussions do we include that journey from the end of primary production, that part of the value chain where agro-processing, distribution, packaging, logistics, all of those things lie. And in those elements, technologies are going to advance at an incredibly rapid pace, and therein lies so many of the opportunities to leverage the progress in agriculture, enabling producers to capitalize on the expansion into the value chain. So what does the future of agriculture look like? And I spent a little bit of time online looking at lots of different quotes from famous people, from not so famous people, and they have a lot of different things to say about agriculture. Strangely enough, a lot of the quotes online about agriculture are quite old. So we're looking for people to contribute positively in that way as well, to offer these catchphrases, these meaningful suggestions of what agriculture looks like going forward. But one thing I did find that I found quite profound, and I'm not a sci-fi fan, but Arthur C. Clarke, maybe some of you will remember, he was the co-writer of A Space Odyssey, and he was a science fiction author. He said, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I think therein lies quite a big challenge for the agriculture and technology sectors to intersect and find that magic. I've been exploring emceeing a little bit more regularly lately, and it's a bit of a running joke in our office that my jokes, when I'm standing up front here, tend to fall flat. So I'm going to take a chance and hope that because a large portion of you are also academics, that you'll find my joke funny. The factory of the future will only have 2 employees, a man and a dog. The man is there to feed the dog. The dog is there to make sure the man doesn't touch the equipment. Thank you. So we've put together a little video to showcase Africa Agri-Tech of the past. Let's take a look.
Africa Agri-Tech, bringing together top-level professionals for 3 days of discussions, exhibits and networking. AAT is dedicated to connecting the Southern African agriculture, scientific and technology communities. It delivers premium insights, best-in-class presentations and explores global trends and advances in agriculture. 3 days of in-person sessions, panel discussions, startup pitches and one-on-one networking opportunities, initiating high-value connections, facilitating long-lasting business relationships. The event has welcomed delegates from around the world, with close to 2,500 attendees from 18 countries and over 40 conference sessions with more than 60 speakers. The event garnered high praise from industry leaders.
It's no surprise that efficient, sustainable and profitable technological solutions for agriculture top the agenda at this year's big Africa Agri-Tech conference.
You were just saying that, every time you think about agriculture or even farming, you think about dirty boots and you think about, crops, but this event is making your industry quite sexy, I have to say.
I think that's a very nice thing to have. At last we have a sexy industry. You have spot on boots, cows, dung, all those things is normally associated. But this really gives everyone the understanding that agriculture is much more than the crop cycle. It includes a whole industry and all the technology that surrounds that industry showcased here today.
Ek dink dit was baie interessante onderwerpe. Dit was baie kundige mense en ek dink mense het 'n goeie oorsig gegee van waar landbou staan En ek dink ook 'n goeie oorsig oor hoe goed die landboutegnologie is wat ons eintlik in Suid-Afrika ontwikkel. Jy weet goed soos Agri Innovation, jy weet Kobus van Koller van Viljoenskroon wat gepraat het van al die tegnologie wat hy in sy boerdery gebruik, die ouens wat die digitale vee veilings doen, BKB met hulle blokketting tegnologie. Dit is alles snykant tegnologie, alles wat hier in Suid-Afrika ontwikkel word.
En die positiwiteit daarvan is jy kry die energie om voorstelle te maak, energie om deel te neem aan die gesprekke en natuurlik die energie om seker te maak dat ons hopelik in die 10 jaar kan terugkyk en sê wel ons het deelgeneem aan 'n verandering in Suid-Afrika.
Africa Agritech received extensive media coverage, featuring over 100 online articles, over 7 hours on radio and television, and extensive social media attention. Africa Agritech acknowledges the support of sponsors, industry associations, and media partners. Africa Agritech. See you there.
And because we're seeing you here, we automatically assume we will see you there. So we look forward to that as well.